Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video we're going to do Savasana or corpse pose. It's a fabulous pose, typically done laying on your back, completely surrendering. And I'll tell you, a long time ago, early in my practice, I got a complete panic attack the first time that I think I really successfully completely let go and came into Savasana. It was a total release, and as soon as I was aware of that release, I went whammo. I came right up and I went, that is completely foreign. Now I'm much more practiced at it, but for a lot of reasons, physical reasons or emotional reasons, it can be challenging, to surrender and let go. You can do this with no props. A lot of people find it very helpful to have some support underneath the knees, especially when you're laying down. The spine can feel challenged, so putting support underneath the knees helps ground the thigh bones, release any sort of tightness in the low back. Also, I have a blanket, I have a couple bolsters here, so I'll show you how to potentially set it up so that it's even more comfortable. Okay, but it has to be right for you. And just know that if letting go is not the easiest thing for you, then you're not alone. For some people, members of my family, this is their favorite pose. So that might be you too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, step on or scooch on back to the mat. So I have this bolster set up for underneath the knees. A lot of the time in class, students will either just bend the knees without even knowing why they're doing it, just they know it releases the low back, or they'll put some sort of support. It'll end up being under their seat and spine. Just trying, they're not sure, is it the the cushiony that they're lacking, okay, or what is going on exactly. They just know that laying down isn't working for them and they can't get comfortable, okay. So it might be one, it might be two. If you don't have access to bolsters, maybe you have a couple blocks or blanket. I love this. If you have a whole collection, you can put one underneath the heels, so you can kind of just feel around for this, what feels best. I'm going to just show it for now with one. I also have this blanket. It's a really dense wool blanket. Setting this up, I have it in thirds, long ways here. Sometimes I fold it into, so it's fourths, I don't know, but something that makes it thicker. I also have an eye pillow. I won't be putting it on, but in Savasana, it's great to get, all the distractions, the external distractions out of the way, okay? So setting this up here, I'm sitting slightly forward of the blanket so that when I lay down, my spine will be supported in its natural curves. Better make sure my head is not completely cut off here, okay? And then what I do here is take the blanket and just give it a little extra fold. And sometimes, I make it into more of a little bit, kind of doubling it up, okay? But in this position that, okay, you can completely release. So I've got the legs, okay, and this support so that the thigh bones are grounded, releasing tension around the spine. It's really nice to have an actual, a manual assist, when someone comes around and helps you ground your arm bones. But if you don't have anyone around to help you do that, then you can press. A way to do this is to press into your elbows or into the back of your forearms and draw your shoulder blades toward each other, really puffing up the heart and then lowering down. So as much as you can, you want to have, a sense of ease in all of the joints. So if the arms are turned down, it tends to really go into the tightness and pop the head of the arm bones up. The more you can keep that sense of surrender, support, okay, the better off overall your Savasana will be. So you want to be able to physically surrender, okay, sometimes that's the easiest phase, and then emotionally, mentally surrender. Allow the slowing down, allow a sense of, as you grow initially heavier as you let go, then a sense of lightness comes into the body. And that's where I think initially that freaked me out. That, wait a minute, what? That's not what I'm used to feeling like, okay? But now it's so welcome, okay? So then it becomes a journey deeper and deeper within to a sense of detachment and quiet, and it's lovely, completely lovely. Typically we'd close our eyes, the room would be dark, okay? Exiting, okay, usually bending the knees, rolling to a side, pausing, allowing yourself to support yourself as you come up. So the physical surrender of Savasana allows for an emotional and mental surrender. What we want, so it translates to corpse pose. What we're hoping for is that all that doesn't serve us well exits permanently. Okay, so just kind of cleanse, right? Slough it off. It also is a conclusion to a yoga practice because it's the opportunity for the body, the mind, everything to integrate your practice. This is the pinnacle pose, really, Savasana. If we don't do Savasana, it's like we really haven't had a complete practice. So in our practice, we open up all the channels, and in Savasana, we allow, we surrender. So it's so significant, so important. For many of us who are go, 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 go kind of people, it's really hard, okay? So it takes time, it takes practice. From one type A person potentially to another, okay? It gets easier, it gets better. If you're not type A and you have like no idea why I'm even saying this because it's the best pose ever for you, then that's awesome, okay? But for me, it definitely took time, it took practice, and today I love it, okay? Love it. So I hope that this was helpful and that you have a wonderful day. I hope to hear from you. Namaste.